Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack making backflip. Telly Hank did with the action. With the vital speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews, how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the bay.
Also breaking overnight, police looking for a gunman now, who police say wore a clown mask while committing a murder.
They say there's no such thing as the perfect murder, especially in today's age of surveillance, DNA technology, and digital footprints. There's a saying amongst investigators, at every crime scene, you either leave something or you take something. With that in mind, I decided to share some of the wildest and most deceptive lengths people have gone in order to conceal their involvement in committing the most unthinkable act known to man.
According to the criminal complaint, a camera set up across the street captured video of 37-year-old Alonzo Mingo and two other men walking into this home Friday afternoon. Two were dressed in UPS uniforms. One of them was carrying a cardboard box.
A West Baltimore man will spend the rest of his life behind bars, found guilty of murdering a man while he was disguised as a woman.
A police raid in Bergen County, New Jersey leads to the arrest of a suspected killer.
And prosecutors say that a Ron Reader was taken into custody during a SWAT-led operation at an apartment in Teaneck. Reader's accused of fatally shooting a former gang leader in a professional hit in South Ozone Park in 2021. The victim was a reformed gang member who had recently been released from prison. A surveillance camera recorded the shooting. We've shown an edited version of it before on air, but it is disturbing.
The suspect can be seen wearing a Hasidic-style hat and long black robe as he approaches the victim's car. And
it's scary, like, just knowing that this stuff could happen at work, you know?
To construction worker Eddie Sanchez and others, what happened was pretty scary. A man disguised so he could blend in with other workers walked into one of the buildings under construction at the site in the 14,000 block of Nelson in the City of Industry.
He was pretty much disguised in a hard hat and a mask to blend in with the other construction workers. Looked like he actively sought out our victim. He found the victim, he shot the victim, and then in the ensuing retreat from all the workers, getting out of the area, he left.
With no vehicle or physical description, no weapon recovered, and an unknown direction of travel, this became a real head-scratcher, a real whodunit, and why? This is a very active construction site, dozens of workers, lots of noise, hammering could sound like gunshots.
Scary stuff, huh?
Yeah. Did you hear anything? Did you see anything?
Just like three, like boom. And,
you heard three bangs?
Yeah, and then everyone just started running towards the back.
It was very quick. Several shots were fired. The victim was struck. No attempts were made to shoot anybody else or assault anybody else. So this isn't any type of workplace violence where somebody was simply targeting construction workers. This appears right now, with what little information we have, that our suspect was actually looking for this victim.
And now authorities are looking for that suspect using video cameras like that one up there, and there are several around this property. They're pouring through the video to try to find whoever was responsible for this. Remember, though, this is a man who was disguised to look, or could have been a woman for that matter. This was a person who was disguised to look like a construction worker. So it's very hard, they tell me, to be able to discern this one from that one. What we do know is that the victim was 50 years old. We also know that authorities either have just gone or are about to go to the family and break the bad news, and this investigation is continuing as we await for the coroner to arrive, and that's supposed to happen shortly. We're live in the City of Industry. Hal Eisner, Fox 11 News.
Despite all of the elaborate work and planning that seemed to have gone into those killings, every single assailant was ultimately captured one way or the other, which brings me to the story of Liquorian Robertson from Houston, Texas. Unlike the suspects in those previous cases we've just seen, Robertson's alleged killer remains at large.
They say he was sitting in the car. He had been laughing, talking with everybody around in the motel over there. And they say he was sitting there, and somebody just walked up off guard with a clown mask on and shot him 10 times.
He entered the property, went directly to the victim, opened fire, firing more than 10 rounds, striking the victim, and then immediately left the property and went northbound on the Gulf Freeway service road.
There is an infamous saying that the only things open after midnight are legs, 7-Elevens, and hospitals. But if y'all looking for somewhere else and y'all in the vicinity of Southeast Houston, there's always the Diamond Inn Motel. A quick glance at the reviews for the motel at 8920 Gulf Freeway in Houston would tell you everything you need to know. One person named Veronica Russell wrote about the business. I've stayed here since July of 2023. This place has changed for the better since the new owners have taken over. The people that are here all look out for one another, run off anyone who tried to start shit. It's not a place for kids. It's more adult only. But in the year and a half we've been here, I've not had any problems. Now, maybe she wasn't there in that early June 2024 morning when Liquorian Robertson lost his life. She would go on to give the business a 5 out of 5. But let's look at another review. This time, a female by the name of Adriana Hernandez. With this review coming in about a week ago, she would explain the business as great, but only if you're looking for street troubles and asking to get locked up. She would rate the business as a 1 out of 5. And the last review probably sums it up most, especially in the case of the death of Liquorian Robertson. Ellis Ottaway would write, really, it just depends why you're at this location. I'll put it this way, they aren't too strict about anything, and as long as you're not causing a problem, all is well. If you're on vacation with your kids, it would likely be in your best interest to find somewhere else to lay your heads down to get a peaceful night of sleep. One guest would even point out that the establishment offers hourly rates, a detail that speaks volumes about the business. Now, the Diamond Inn sits off of the freeway, a dimly lit roadside stop known for more crime scenes than comfort. Its doors stay open for anyone looking to slip into the shadows, whether it's for rest, business, or something else.
Now at 5:34, Houston police are looking for a suspect in a deadly shooting this morning, which happened in a hotel parking lot off the Gulf Freeway.
According to police, the shooter was wearing a clown mask before running away from the scene.
ABC 13's Brandon Hamilton live for us at the motel where this happened, right along the Gulf Freeway. And Brandon, we understand you just spoke to the victim's mother in the last hour?
Rita, I did. She tells me it was her 31-year-old son murdered here. She also tells me this is not the first time she's had to deal with a child being murdered. Her youngest son was shot and killed 13 years ago. HPD telling us officers were called to the Diamond Inn Motel off the Gulf Freeway
around 1 this morning. Police say the suspect walked up to the motel, went straight to the victim who was sitting inside of his vehicle, and opened fire more than 10 rounds. Veronica Robertson says the man murdered was her son, Liquorian Robertson, a father of 5.
And whoever took my son's life, I want them to know God is real. And justice will be served through God or the justice system. And may God deliver them for being unrighteous toward my child. And may God bless them all.
And right now, it is unclear what led up to this shooting. Police say the shooter, again, was able to get away on foot, and he was wearing a dark blue hoodie and that clown mask. HPD also telling us this morning they do have video of the suspect. If you have any information, call police or Crime Stoppers.
The darkness surrounding the Diamond Inn Motel would find Liquorian Robertson on the night of June 3rd, 2024, when the 31-year-old father of 5 would be gunned down in a parking lot. Surveillance footage would capture a masked man, his face disguised by a two-toned red and white clown mask, approaching Robertson's car before opening fire. Bullets would rip through the night, and within seconds, Robertson would lay dead, while the shooter fled northbound onto the Gulf Freeway, vanishing into the city. Another crime at a place where crime seems to be expected, where trouble was just another guest. But was it the location that sealed Liquorian Robertson's fate? Or was it a ghost from his past that finally came to collect the debt? Now, just 3 years prior to his death in 2022, Liquorian Robertson would be charged with the March 13, 2020 murder of a guy by the name of Rogelio Montalongo, who was gunned down in the driveway of a home at 8802 Kahlua Drive, which just happened to be only about 6.5 miles from the Diamond Inn Motel where Liquorian Robertson will ultimately be killed. That night, Montalongo and a 24-year-old woman were shot outside the residence by 2 men, later identified as Liquorian and his co-defendant, a guy by the name of Willie Gabriel, would flee the scene in a dark-colored Charger. The woman would survive, but Montalongo would be pronounced dead at the hospital. Authorities would suspect that the shooting was tied to narcotics, and 2 years later, Liquorian and Gabriel were arrested for their suspected roles in the murder. Now, with Liquorian Robertson himself executed in another late-night ambush, you almost have to ask yourself, was his death a case of being at a place where any time can be the wrong time? Or was it a situation where the ghost from Kahlua Drive finally came catching up to him? Now, y'all make sure y'all hit the red bell and subscribe button right under this video so y'all know when this real trail spill shit is dropping. Y'all get in the comment box below. Y'all let me know what cities we need to go to, what stories we need to tell, what we missed, what we got wrong, all of that. Y'all tapping with me directly on Instagram, Twitter, POP_A_LOT. And until the next play, y'all know how we rocking. Shades Popalot. Salute the almighty MOBB.